Basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness. Aye. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, we are figure.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata Francis Wakenham, and since 1965, I become a voter, and I always place my X next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
Today, I'd like to talk about the harm and disastrous impact the current Vice President of Guyana, Bharat Jagdeo, has brought upon the people of Guyana. Everything he has done has been for his own benefit, never thinking about the well-being of the people or taking any action to improve their lives. Instead of helping the common people live a decent life, he has abused his power from 1999 to 2024 to embezzle at least billions of dollars of public funds, possibly even more. The ordinary people have suffered from unfair treatment and a disastrous quality of life because of him. He's a truly corrupt and evil person, using his special status to commit countless harmful acts against Guyana, all for his own gain. He even has a massive fortune in China, worth billions of dollars, all taken from the people's wealth. Today, I hope everyone becomes aware of his corruption. Let's come together, unite, and help the people of Guyana start a new chapter for a better future.
In all the regions and everything, don't make me Where is the PS? Where is the PS?
I gotta get no more. I gotta get no more.
Sit there and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su.
Hawk 2. I gotta get no more. I gotta get no more. Gotta get no more.
You said valid votes counts.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
Good night. Welcome to Straight Up. My name is Mark Benshap. Wherever you are, thank you so much for sharing the link. We just have about a little under 1 hour to go. We're off at 9:30, which will be 10:30 Guyana time. Not a minute extra. So good night to all of you. We get straight down into business. Let me just say tonight, please, and I'm going to be watching you, do not, and I repeat, do not mention anything, absolutely nothing about Jagdeo and his quote-unquote children. Do not mention it. Do not be surprised that he has kids. Do not be surprised that he has kids. Just do not. Do not talk to me about it. I do not want to hear it. We have far better things to talk about. I know a lot of you are surprised that he has children, that he now comes out of the closet. He's out of the wardrobe, so to speak, or the closet. And he's saying, hey, wait a minute. I have kids, guys. And so he has introduced, quote unquote, his kids to all of you. And if all of you felt that Jack Dale was known all of his life for wearing lipstick and putting on wigs and hang out at the cathedral and so forth, the man or the individual shocked you all by saying he has children now. Now, you've got to ask this question. You've got to ask this question. Why now? All of a sudden, he pops out of God in heaven knows where to say he has children. He has children now. Don't talk about that tonight, guys. Don't even mention it. If you mention anything about it, y'all gonna get a hot block, right, Lemon? Where's Lemon? Right? Good. Lemon said, a hot block. Do not talk about her. Good night to all of you. Somebody wants to know where the kid's mother. I don't know, but the man say you get children, right? Now, I find that to be suspicious that he makes that announcement now. We could have put them on the page so you guys can see what's going on, but do not mention it, guys. We do not have time to waste, because do you know Kwame also has kids? Kwame says he has kids and grandkids. What is this world coming to? I'm not laughing at the kids, but what is this world coming to, guys? Is it that because since I was a little boy, a long time ago, you know, there's a hymn that go a long, long time ago, or something like that. You heard that the world is coming to an end, and the revelation, all these revelations upon revelations. Kwame get wife. Stop it. Kwame got kids. Stop it. Jack Dale got kids. What is this? Good night to all of you guys again, and welcome. 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 And I don't even know whether to call it Straight Up or just to call it the Kids Show. Tonight is the Kids Show. Tonight is the Kids Show, right? The Kids Show. Who else going to come forward and say they have kids? Let me see in the audience. Petula, talk to us. How many kids you have? Ralph Fredericks, talk to us. How many kids you have? Corrine Jones, there's Corrine Roberts, there's Corrine and then Golly God. Where has Golly God been? Finally got little money and put on back his credit. Good night to Golly God. Oh my gosh, what is Guyana coming to, right? I don't know what else to say, but we should just end the show just like that. Just like that. Breaking news. Breaking news. Jack Dale got kids. All right, what else we can talk about? Claudette Singh. No, she's not married. I don't know if she has kids. None of my business. But one by one, they're coming out of the woodworks. And there's a reason why. One by one, they're coming out. One by one. How many kids you guys have? Come on. Name it. How many kids have you guys signed for, especially those fathers out there? From me, no idea. Y'all know what I did. Dion Bascom, good night to you. Dion says he has 9. Holy smoke. Whew. Step kids probably included there. Dion Bascom, Sergeant Dion Bascom, good night to you, sir. Let me check the guys them in the audience. How many kids you guys have? Golly God, how many you have? Anthony John Harris says he has 3. Dion Bascom has 9. Johan Austin is saying, where is the father of those kids? That photo I saw the mother. No, what Johan asking us there? Good night, Johan. Good night, Mark. All straight up family. Hi, Donnet. How are you doing? Let's see the count. Bossman Goliv got 7 kids. Let me see who else. Desiree Smart Felix has 4 kids. Colleen Isaacs, 4. Kim Walker, 1 child. Denise Booker has children, not kids. Oh, them Bostonian always kids, children. Okay, right, Miss Booker. Matthew has 4. Just imagine what this show has turned to now, right? Just imagine this show counting how many kids, who got kids and who ain't got kids. Brenda Braithwaite has 4. Yana DeAndre has 3. Tomorrow, Jack Dave is going to talk on his Kiddies program, Kiddies Corner. He's going to talk about they're worried about my children. They never knew that while they were saying that I was they didn't know that I was swinging. They thought I was a thing still, but they never knew that I was swinging. I swing left, he swing right. He swing left, he swing right. All right, guys, good night. How are you guys doing? What else we can talk about? Lots and lots of things. Modi is in Guyana. Modi is in Guyana. And someone call and say, how is it that Modi doesn't speak English? So he spoke Hindi, right? Hindi. Does he know 99.9% of Guyanese do not understand him? They just do not, including Ravi Dev. Ravi Dev doesn't understand him, I'm sure. Definitely, Irfan Ali doesn't speak Hindi. Jack Dave doesn't speak Hindi. No one in the cabinet speaks Hindi, the so-called cabinet. Even the minister with a pension book, the biggest pension book fraud in the history of Guyana, whatever her name, Prasad. She doesn't. She is head of the Hindu Mahasabha, I believe, that took over from her dad, Pandit Rupuduman Prasad, the late Pandit Rupuduman Prasad, and she doesn't speak proper Hindi. Maybe I speak more Hindi than all of them put together. And don't get me started with my Hindi. Some folks call me and say, hey, Mark, I didn't know you speak Hindi. Even they have some Indians from India. Ask me if I'm from India. I have to say, no, I'm not from India. I am not from India. Guys, I am not from India. They got some folks. Rajan, where are you? Good night to Rajan, our good friend Rajan. Even Rajan is surprised that I know more Hindi than him. And even some of them who would rush, oh, Ben Chap is a racist, I'll challenge them anywhere, anytime with more Hindi and more about the Hindu culture than all of them put together. Every one of them, including Jagdev, Pagdev, Pagodidev, all of them put together. Any day, anytime. Put us in that ring like Mike Tyson and that guy Jake or Fake or whatever, you know. And so when Modi is in Guyana and he's speaking, none of them understand. Absolutely none of them understand. They don't. Right, Rajan? Not even Rajan Bim understand when Modi spoke. None of them. Some of them, somebody, Bernadette, seems to know me very well. Bernadette James say, Mark, you don't only speak Hindi, you also know all them songs. Of course. All the songs. Whether it's from Lawaris, Silsila, Love Story, Gunmaster Genai, by Mitum Chakrabarti, I am a disco dancer, Zindagit Hariwana. Hachuno, Hayachun, Humidizilla. Hey, we can go on and on, but we have other things to do. I hope when you guys going in the voting booth and vote, y'all will be singing and chanting so that y'all could see the backs of the PPP regime. They have got to go. And come elections day, you just sing the nice little song. Pack up and let me go away, y'all. Send away the PPP. Let them pack up and go. They've got to go. They're just an eyesore to Guyana. Horrible things have happened since they've been installed as of August 2nd, 2020. Horrible things have happened, guys. What else is happening that you want us to talk about tonight? GCOP. What about GCOP? The list is bloated. Claudette Singh is quiet. Why do you suppose Claudette Singh, who swing from one side to the other side, just like Jack Deere batting with two bats? You bat this side and you turn around and you boom, bat the other side straight. One goes so backward square leg and the other one, boom, straight in the gully. Sorry about that. Let's stick to the program. Again, good night to all of you. My name is Mark Ben Sharp. Let's stick to the program, guys.
Can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%. Yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base. Then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up. You done fed up. He done fed up. She done fed up. We done fed up. The people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up.
Look how evil set up, right? Somebody's asking, what can India do for the Guyana? And let me say this to you. You know, it's good that countries have friends. And India has been a friend of Guyana, just like Ghana. And back in the days when Forbes Burnham was president of Guyana, lots of dignitaries rushed to go to Guyana because they were dealing with a sensible president. Now they're dealing with a hustler, a flatfoot hustler, two flatfoot hustlers, Irfan Ali and Bharat Jagdeo, two flatfoot hustlers. And so the issue is not about India. India has always been a friend of Guyana. They continue to be a friend of Guyana. It's unfortunate that these Pakus are in office right now, but we cannot say what has in India has offered a lot of things, mutual benefits between the two countries. We saw this dating back since Premier Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi visited Guyana. They weren't picking and choosing to say, oh, a person of East Indian descent is the president or the prime minister of Guyana, and that they are going to go only because of that. That's not the case at all. And so the relationship between Guyana and India is way, way more than what it is and what the PPP wants it to appear, that it's an Indian thing. No, it's a country-to-country thing. And these two leaders, mutual respect for each other, they were brilliant compared to what we're seeing now in Guyana. These were leaders. They were leaders. They weren't perfect, but they were leaders, good leaders. One died in 1985, that's Forbes Burnham, and the other was assassinated. Indira Gandhi was assassinated. Her son, who later became Prime Minister of India, was also assassinated. Her grandson, Rahul Gandhi, is currently the head of their party. He's the opposition leader. And one day, maybe very soon, Rahul Gandhi will probably make history by becoming India's Prime Minister. So you have the Gandhi dynasty right there. Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, and maybe Rahul Gandhi. Because in India, all is not well. People are upset. And Modi has lost a lot of votes the last time around, lots and lots of votes. So don't be surprised if this is his last swing as Prime Minister of India. But going back to answering the question, what India does for Guyana, we shouldn't look at it from that standpoint, because a lot of Guyanese are, or those who have ancestors, of course, many of us aren't excluded from that. Some great somebody came from India. But outside of that, India has been a good friend of Guyana, and we need to nurture, we need to respect that friendship with the people of India and the people of Guyana. Unfortunately, though, there we go. Good relationship indeed. Unfortunately, guess what? The PPP wants to play that race card, making it appear that Modi going to Guyana and that he wants to send a message to mainly the East Indian population in Guyana in saying that this friendship with Modi and Guyanese of East Indian descent and that is what they're doing. The PPP is playing the race card. But young people mostly are well aware of their history to know that this is not the first time, certainly not the first time an Indian Prime Minister has visited Guyana. Abhishek Thakur. Oh, really? आपके नाम क्या है भाई? Abhishek Thakur. मेरा नाम अमिताभ भाई. Right? Abhishek Thakur is saying here that he is from India. He says here, what are you talking about? I'm from India. I am from India. In LOL, meaning, I don't know what LOL means. I don't know what WTF means. WTF, what? Way? I don't know what WTF. You guys tell me. Is it World Trade in Food or something? So, Abhishek Thakur, good night to you, my friend. Hope you're okay. Right? So, Abhishek Thakur is upset. His bumps raised. Now, I don't know what WTF means. I don't even know what LOL means. Maybe he dropped off the O. Right, Abhishek? So, Abhishek now is upset. His bumps raise. He's gonna get something just now. His bumps raise. Hear why his bumps raise. This is why his bumps raise. He's listening all the way from India, as he says. He said BJP and Narendra Modi will rule India for the next century. Well, if you know about cricket, Abhishek Thakur, if you know about cricket, remember when those guys go in, if you understand cricket, Sunil Gavaskar, one of the greatest batsmen out of India, Sunil Gavaskar, who were the two opening batsmen for India? Sunil Gavaskar, and we know Kapil Dev was the bowler, but who was the other batsman there for along with Sunil Gavaskar? People thought that Sunil Gavaskar, let me see you cricket lovers out there, who was the other batsman there with Sunil Gavaskar in opening the batting there for India? The two opening batsmen. Who were they? And let's welcome Thakur. And Thakur, don't get too besides yourself, right? Calm down. Don't get besides yourself, because you know what will happen. We'll send you all the way back to South India. all the way back. But don't get beside. If you're going to be respectful in the comment section, we'll appreciate that. Do not allow your bumps to raise as though you're not little daru, and then you got to sing Goram Kama about Jigal, peace, right? Goram Kama about Jigal, peace. So relax yourself. Do not get besides yourself. I know your bumps is raising. You do not understand the politics. You're allowing your emotions. You probably just finished around the cathedral, the India form of cathedral there, if you're in Bombay or you're in New Delhi or wherever you're from, right? So it is Sasha was not. And look, we gotta get him off. He gotta go. He's gotta go. He's a distraction. He gotta go. We'll give him 30 seconds more, but he's got to go. Let him enjoy himself. His bumps raised. All because I said Moody. Moody will go. All he's saying is you don't know anything. That is what he's telling me. That I do not know anything. If you know so much, why don't you say something that makes sense, not the laughing emoji. Say something that makes sense and make everybody from Calcutta or wherever you're from feel nice and proud of you. You can't. You're upset because I've said that Moody will be defeated in the next elections. He will go. He has lost a significant amount of support in India. It is a fact. He has lost some areas that he won. So you can face the truth. Even Thakur, all the way in India, he's watching us all the way in India. All the way in India, he's watching us on his neighbor's TV. Now, he's upset because I said Moody will go. Moody will go. He got vexed. He got vexed. He's saying, look, he's cursing up now. His bumps is raising. He said, you don't even know the G of geopolitics. G of geopolitics. Shut the front door. That is him. You could tell his level of communication. He is upset. He is upset because I said that in the next elections in India, there is a high possibility that Modi will be defeated. The signs are already there. What is there not to see? The signs are already there. All because, Jai Trikan, right? All because I mentioned Rahul Gandhi's name, and that there is a high possibility that Rahul Gandhi will be elected the next Prime Minister of India. He is vexed. Like I am not entitled to an opinion. This is not anything personal against Modi. I know a lot of Indians in India are not pleased with what's happening in India. And this is what happens when you have a government in office for 3 and 4 terms and so forth and so on. This is exactly what happens. And so Modi is going to go to Guyana, and he's going to promise this and then promise that and so forth. He's traveling, and the guys in the Guyana government begged him to be in Guyana so that it can prop up their votes next elections. That is what it is about. And so you're hearing that they signed this and they signed that and they signed that. And now it might be a good thing to sign deals and so forth. But the PVP is not concerned about those sort of things. They're more concerned about what they can gain politically. The PVP is not concerned about the people of Guyana. And therefore, they are using the Prime Minister Modi visit to Guyana to put themselves in their own mood. Political mood, elections mood. That is what it is about. And so when we have Rumpelstiltskin or whatever it is, come on the show, raises his skirt and starts to abuse, not like a boxer, not like that. You know, like you go in a rum shop and the person at the corner that you think is so quiet. You let some song go on, you're gonna see start jump up, dance up there. Dillikadiko, 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 dill. Dill, dill, wano, me dilladiko, dill. And if you see him in the bakla, rum in the hand, and if you see wine and go down and wine like Terry Gajrat would say, that is that guy Thakur. That is Thakur. He don't get nothing else to say. But he bumps Rays. But you know what? I'm glad he bumps Rays. I'm glad he bumps Rays. They are watching that guy. Years now he has been training. He had a little bumps here and there, a little fall down here and there. Rahul Gandhi. Look out for Rahul Gandhi, guys. Is it a crime to say that? I have nothing personal against Modi. But I know what I do know, based on the politics, a lot of people in India are not too comfortable with what's happening in India. They are not too comfortable with his leadership. It is a fact. What nonsense you're telling me that I do not understand geopolitics? Who are you? You don't even know who the opening batsmen were of your own country, India. You can't even talk about Sunil Gavaskar, Kapil Dev, and all those other great batsmen and bowlers out in India. You can't even talk about that. You're talking about geopolitics? And all the only way you can have a proper conversation with LOL. Forget the O at the end. And WTF, I almost say what WTF is, right? What the? Are you got to be kidding me? He's already in the trench. We threw him in the trench. He's our trench crapper from India. Good night again to all of you guys. All because he bumps Rays. All because I say Rahul Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi. So he's vexed because I mentioned Rahul Gandhi. He's vexed because I showed a photo with Prime Minister Forbes Burnham then and Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. He's vexed, his bumps raised. And look at the story. But he didn't vex when I showed former president, yeah. He was cheated out of office, President David Arthur Granger and Modi. He wasn't vexed because of this. He wasn't vexed because of that. He's vexed because of this. This is what these guys, their bumps are raising in India with Rahul Gandhi. I'd probably love to interview Rahul Gandhi one day right here on 107.1 FM. Again, good night to all of you. You're now joining us wherever you're joining us from, whether you're in Guyana, whether you're in the Caribbean, or whether you're in Linden. Because you know, according to the PBP, how they treat the people of Linden, it's like Linden is not part of Guyana. I hope they take Modi to Linden. Let him see that part of Guyana. Because India is not just about people of East Indian descent. It's not just Indians of East Indian descent. The first set of people are Africans in India. Does this guy Thakur know? Does he know his history? And so when Modi is in Guyana, he's not there just to represent East Indian straight here. He's there to represent the entire population. However, unfortunately, there are those who are not being represented properly in India. And you know those, 5 million, I wouldn't say black people, because a lot of folks from the South are actually dark-skinned. Like my favorite actress, Rekha, from the movie Silsila. And you guys know that whole love story in Silsila. And Rekha was there, and he was singing and dancing and hug her up and say, Lungai la chica, bye. Lungai la chica. Right? And so she is dark-skinned, still my favorite. I love Rekha. And so there are lots of African, of course, they're Indians, but they're black people in India. India is not just about straight hair Ravi Dev or Jagdev, or, well, he doesn't have hair, or Irfan. They have persons who may look like Bantu King in India who speak Hindi. They speak Hindi. They speak Hindi more than Ravi Dev and all of them put together. But yet those people are not being respected. They're not. They don't have proper roads. They don't have proper electricity. And those are the original people of India. Now, some will argue. They're going to argue all sorts of things till cow come home because they don't want to accept reality. They just don't want to accept reality. They might send the silly ERC, the dotish ERC, and say, here what Ben Shap is talking. Ben Shap doesn't know his history. Give me a break. Give me a break. Right? And when you look at Hinduism and so forth, some pundits out there might get vexed. The goddess, the most powerful set of goddess are dark skin, black. If you say African, they're going to get vexed. Like, for example, Mother Kali, strength, power. And the same Mother Kali from Hinduism, they have Mother Kali also as in Catholicism. There is the goddess Kali in Catholicism. And so when you check the connections and so forth, it makes you push yourself back and say, really? Look at how the brothers and sisters in Africa, look at how they worship. They wear almost the identical thing. They beat the drums, they dance around. Yeah, take a look at Amitabh in his movie or all those Vinod, Rajesh Khanna. Watch all of their movies and you see them what they're doing. You see what they're doing? You see what they're doing? They're dancing, beating a drum and going around. Yeah. Right? Look in Africa how they do the same thing. Going around in circle and they're dancing identical. So there's no difference. None whatsoever. So let us not run away with Jack Dale and Irfan Ali and their racism to think that people from Africa are less of human beings than people of India, when Indians are all one family. Indians came from Africans and Africans were the first set of people in India. All these things, let's face reality. So don't let people fool you with your history. Now back to Moody. I don't know if Moody watches these programs. He's in the car. He's here in Guyana right now. He might be peeping. But Moody will lose the next elections in India. Oh, gosh, who told me to say that? I saw Moody hugging up Irfan Ali. Irfan says that he's a Muslim. Lots of Muslims in India are not comfortable with Moody. They're just not comfortable. A mosque was bulldozed, broken down, and all manner of things. People are not comfortable. Now, I'm not here to just jump on a mountaintop and hug up and kiss Moody that he's in Guyana. Of course, he's the Prime Minister of India. He's visiting Guyana. It's okay. It's fair play. But it doesn't mean that we have to put aside how a lot of people in India are being treated. They're not being treated like human beings. And we must face reality. So when I saw Modi hugging up and hugging up Irfan Ali, I'm like, really? I hope the Muslims in India are actually looking at this. Because I saw that photograph and I was like, oh. So you have this sort of love for these folks outside of India, but you don't show them the same sort of love when you are in India. The same like Irfan Ali and Jack Dale. When they leave Guyana, they run and they hug up persons of African descent. They run to Brooklyn. They pray. All sorts of things they do. All sorts of things they do. But when they go back to Guyana, they treat persons of African descent as though they don't belong in Guyana. That is Irfan. That is Jack Dale. It is true. Take a look.
Take responsibility. Yep. We want you to look out for us. We do not want no segregation. No. We are one people. And if we're going to do it, let's do it together. Because we have respect for you. Thank you.
All right, President. All right, I agree with you, and I would have it no other way. No other way. There is only one way forward, and that is unite.
Remember, he said he would have it no other way. Well, of course, we are well aware of that. That aside, as soon as he got back to Guyana, what did he do? They went on the seawall and they bulldozed dozens of small businesses, dozens, and dumped them in a corner. And then they went to Mucka and they took away the people's lands. All these sort of things Irfan Ali is doing to Guyana, to Guyanese. But more so, they're targeting persons of African descent. They have destroyed the mining tongue of Linden. They have destroyed certain parts on the quarantine, where some overnight pakus as contractors who are given millions of dollars of contracts and they don't know anything. Some of them can't even read nor write properly. Some of them went to high school with a ladder and didn't even finish, fell down. And they get the biggest contracts on the quarantine. And when they go to certain areas, like they're going to do a road at Port Morant. They're going to do a road at Port Morant. And when they do a road at Port Morant, they go pass Manchester. Then they go pass Ulverston. And then they go pass Alness. And then they go stop a little bit at Big Alness. And then they might go over to Hoxtie. And then when they're done, they go Adventure. And then when they're done with Adventure, they reach Limlair and Nurney. And they pass Limlair and Nurney, and they pass Kildonan, and they go Bushlat, and when they go Bushlat, they go Farm, and then they go Maida, and then they go Kilmarnock, and they skip Philippi, and then they go Cromarty and do one dam, and then they skip Wellington Park, they skip Tarlogy, and then they go 35, and do a little bit, and then they go to Brighton, and they skip Eversham, they skip Epsom, and they go to Bengal. And that is how they do. That is how they operate. And then they're going to go to Little India in Skeldon, and they're going to do something. They're going to dab little house, they're going to dab little road. But then they're going to ignore the people at Little Africa. How many of you guys know that in Skeldon, there is Little Africa and there's Little India? How many of you guys know that? When you go to Little Africa now, they got a lot of Indians living in Little Africa with a bunch of Douglas kids running around. When you go to Little India, well, they have a majority of Indians of East Indian descent, Guyanese of East Indian descent living in Little Africa, Little India. But these are places when you're in Guyana, those of you who get a passage and could reach to Guyana, and those of you who are banned from going to Guyana, let your friends or your relatives take photographs, especially of Skeldon, Little India, or Little Africa. Sugrim, Pastor Sugrim is there. Pastor Sugrim is there. Pastor Sugrim spend more time out of Skeldon now than in Skeldon because he's a big guy now. He's part of the central executive. He's going around doing his thing. Kudos, Pastor Sugrim. But one of these days, show them the conditions that people in Little India have to live. And the same with people in Little Africa. I hope they take Moody there. I saw someone ask a question whether the Prime Minister of India is going to meet with the opposition. I don't know. I don't think the installed PPP regime, I don't think they want Moody to meet with the opposition folks. I don't think so. I just don't think so. I don't know whether he asked for his friend President Granger. I don't know whether he asked for President Granger. But one of the things, though, that we are well aware of, that the PPP will not. They will try to keep Moody's schedule tight. They can take him to State House. He can plant a little coconut tree. You go meet Jack Day, you go meet Jack Day, ma, mu, ma, mi, cha, chi, cha, cha. And then you got to meet Irfan Ali Dabit, Didi, everybody, Pua, everybody. And then the rest, all of them getting pictures and things, the family affairs, and then the friends. But they're not going to take him to the villages, right? Was it the 20th? He leaves tomorrow. Moody leaves tomorrow, maybe bright and early tomorrow morning. They have him at the cultural center right now. They're doing little dancing, little jumping up, and little African dancing. Woo! But Moody doesn't go to those predominantly African places there in India. They do not go. And when they have that sort of racial discrimination in Africa, in India, where African students are being ill-treated, nobody stands up to defend them. Moody doesn't, at least. Now, if I had an opportunity to interview Moody, I'll ask him that very question. Why is it that you ignore certain folks in India? Black people, Africans, but they're real Indians, and they're not treated like human beings, just like in Guyana. Irfan and Jack Dale, they treat persons of African descent the same way, or sometimes even worse. So Moody's in Guyana. Yeah, I noticed Tony Khan, is asking a question here, and Assalamu alaikum, Tony. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. All right, good. Tony Hack is asking here, why the Muslims in Guyana didn't protest against Moody. Moody is a bunch, protests against Moody is a bunch of weak hearts Muslims in Guyana. That's why he loves Trinidad Muslims. I don't want to get into the religious stuff. No, I don't. But Tony Hack has a point. The Muslims in Guyana, especially headed by CIOG, and then that crapo guy named some Roshan Khan, he gets something too. Yes, Westmus Roberts, I miss friendship. Yeah, I miss friendship. How can I miss friendship? Thank you. And so the Muslim organizations, the CIOG and those folks, they would rush to shake hands with Moody. They're not concerned about the treatment of Muslims in India. They don't care about that. It's all about a photo op for them, all about the little business deals, and so forth and so on. So the CIOG get nothing to say. The CIOG, they can issue a press release, including Roshan Khan and all of them. Oh, look what Israel is doing to Gaza, right? They're going to issue a press release only about that, and they're done. There's nothing else. They have nothing to say to Moody other than hug him, kiss him, and bow to his feet. That's what they will do. They're not going to say anything else. Nothing else. That's the CIOG, the Central Islamic Organization of Guyana. And then they have that bat-faced guy, Roshan Khan. I don't know, they got some weird Muslims in Guyana. Weird Muslims. Them guys pretend that they're Muslims. They don't follow the Quran. They don't follow the teaching of the Prophet Muhammad, of whom be peace. They don't do that. They just don't even know. They just don't know. I recall when I was a little boy, not so long ago, the village under quarantine, Kildonan village. I don't know how many of you guys know Kildonan village. They have a mosque there. And as a little boy, we heard that they had some big imam or somebody coming from maybe Africa or somewhere. And I heard the older folks in the village talking. The older guys for us were like 15 and 16. They were big guys, right? But the older guys talking. And when the African imam visited that mosque, at that time, little boy, I didn't know, but I only know Muslims to be one set of people, mainly Guyanese of East Indian descent. If you see one black Muslim in Guyana, you say, what? Like at Manchester School, they had a guy named Teacher Borges from Irish side. Teacher Borges had on his top Muslim, and we as little boys thought that was weird. Truth, I'm not. We thought that was weird. You see an African Guyanese who's a Muslim, we thought that was weird until you get older and all sort of things. And the other thing on the quarantine, but anyways, that imam that went to Kildonan Mosque, oh man, oh gosh. I heard the guys were talking afterwards that even all the guys in the village, all the Muslims, they were shocked. That guy recited the Quran from back to front, front to back, back to every single thing. And they were shocked. And that's when my eyes started open. I said, a guy from Africa? Well, of course, I didn't say it like that. I said, from Africa? And he knew the Quran inside out. But it was news for us as little boys and girls. Well, not me. Jack was a little girl. Janet was the little girl on the quarantine. So the little boys and little girls, we were shocked. And then as we got older, we realized that the term Fula, that our Muslim brothers and sisters in Guyana going to school, they never like when we call, hey, Fula. So I used to wonder, why is it that our Muslim brothers and sisters, they were annoyed when you call them Fula? But you get to understand based on reading history that what Fula was really about, and that in those early days there were Africans who were brought and were forced into slavery, and then they were Africans. The first set of indentured servants were Africans from West Africa. About 400 plus came to Guyana. Africans were the first set of indentured servants to Guyana. How many of you guys know that? I repeat, Africans were the first set of indentured servants in Guyana. And then the Muslims now, there were lots of Africans who were Muslims, but they were deprived of their own religion. And so in Guyana, we thought that only our East Indian brothers and sisters could be Muslims. Until you get older and you realize. But in Guyana, though, there is this segregation. The CIOG Muslims, I'm told, do not like the black Muslims in Guyana, unless the black Muslims can be used. And you know for what purpose, right? Anyways, we'll talk about that some other time. But thank you so much, Desiree Chapman, Fula. Fula wasn't a bad thing, but as little boys, our Muslim friends in school, you call them Fula. We used to say Fula Gula Gula. And then they say black masala, pong masala, tipi mother $5, rongo shop. All sorts of things as little boys, because you're now growing and you're now learning the little race and you're throwing little hints at each other and all sorts of things. And then you know about water rice, wash with dal and rice, all manner of things. What else is going on, guys? What else is happening? What else? You got to learn your history. You got to understand. And so when they have folks like to insult people and call them black man and black man this and that, you got to know where you came from. You just got to know where you came from. Because after the first set of indentured servants, Africans were the first set of indentured servants that came to Guyana, followed by others who came. And when the others came, it was the Africans who had to teach them every single thing, how to cut cane and all manner of things. And so there was this togetherness, because a lot of our Indian brothers and sisters, they may want to tell you that their great-great-grandfather was a black man, or their great-great-grandmother was a black woman. They're not going to tell you that. They're just not going to tell you that. It's the biggest secret for most of them. Now, I have some family members like that, so I know what I'm talking about. They're not going to tell you anything. But back in those days, they had less Indian women, 6 Indian men to 1 Indian woman. That was the ratio. And so if that was the case, where do you think those Indian men went to? Well, not Jack here I'm talking about. It men. They went to African women and they started families and so forth. So there's a connection. But that connection is a secret, a deep secret for a lot of our Indian brothers and sisters. But you a black man. First thing a black man will tell you, me grandmother Indian, you know, me great grandmother was Indian, you know. They're gonna tell you seriously, you know. Ravi Dev get black in he, but he wouldn't come out to tell you guys that. Someone of his generation mixed with black. They're not gonna tell you that. Even Ramjatan, you're gonna ask Ramjatan. They're not gonna tell you that. Moses Nagamutu. They're not gonna tell you that. The only body who might come straight out and tell you all the truth is Ganesh Mahipal. And even my good friend, Pandit Dinesh Jaiprashad, on the quarantine. Oh, Father. So when you talk about race, you talk about history and all these things. Rhonda Lane said Fulani tribe is a part of Africa. Of course it is. Good night to you, Rhonda Lane. Good night. Ian Harry's asking, why are they hiding it? I don't know. I can tell you guys some stories. Some they used to hide some of we in the same family, all kind of thing. But it is what it is. Let me see what Lance Borges is saying here. Mark, you hiding your friend children from guy. Mr. Borges. I don't know. Are you related to Mr. Borges from the quarantine there? Let me see what else we can talk. It's almost 8, was it 9:30, right? 9:30. 9:30. What else you guys want us to talk about? I know we started off and then the guy from India got upset because I said Modi will be defeated in the next elections. He got vexed. So Mr. Borges, Lance Borges, who was that teacher again? Remember him? We didn't know better as little kids because we thought he was the only Muslim we knew. Mr. Borges. It's a good teacher, though. Very dedicated teacher. Lots of dedicated teachers back then. Miss Collins. Lots and lots of dedicated teacher. Our Spanish teacher, too, Miss Dasrat. Lots of dedicated teacher. Our headmistress, Miss Stewart, Norma Stewart, the late Norma Stewart. Of course, I'm connected to Miss Dasrat. That's why. Our Spanish teacher. Many of you who are from the quarantine know Michael Borges. Yeah. All right, guys. Tomorrow we'll talk a little more about the politics. I was hoping to have my former professor at John Jay College of Criminal Justice, Angeline Butler, to talk about the civil rights struggle. She will be on sometime soon, though. And I must say, congratulations. It looks as though that our very own daughter of immigrants, Jamaica, yep, Congresswoman Yvette Clarke is on the way becoming what? The chairperson of the Black Caucus, the Congressional Black Caucus. We've got to have her back on the show sometime soon. Congresswoman Yvette Clarke has indicated a thumbs up that she wants to return right here on 107.1 FM. So congratulations to Congresswoman Yvette Clarke on her re-election, and also congratulations on her new position. It's still to be official, but let's take the time to congratulate her. She says she's going to be fighting. She is going to be fighting for our rights, all of the rights of individuals in the United States of America, especially the immigrant community. She will be fighting. Thank you so much, Congresswoman Yvette Clarke. Thank you so much, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, and all the other elected officials who are fighting for a just cause. There are a couple of them out in Brooklyn. I don't really care to call their names. I don't really care to call their names. But I'm out of here, guys. I got my kids to go look after. You guys know my kids. You've seen them all. You know them all. I don't have any to hide. Real men do not hide their kids. It doesn't matter the position that they're in. Real men do not hide their kids. I repeat, real men do not hide their kids. All my kids, look, all of my kids. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of my kids right there. The one on top there, that's me when I was a little boy. You guys want to take a look? Since tonight is a kids' night, I don't want to get up because, you know, a lot of people do their show with shark pants, right? Well, not me. This was me when I was a little boy. Take a look. Y'all don't laugh, though. Take a look. Take a look. That's me. That's me. Little boy. Nice shoes and everything, right? But I repeat, as we close off tonight's program, real men do not hide their kids. Real men do not hide their kids. Real men are proud of their kids, and they show their kids to the world when necessary. And even if you are in whatever position that you're in, it doesn't mean that you got to take your kids and lock them away in a basement and not show them or hide them or be deceitful, especially if you call yourself a leader of a country, especially if you call yourself a president of a country or a vice president. There's nothing secretive about that. Those politicians in Guyana, it's about time. Don't hide your wives. Don't hide your girlfriend. Don't hide your kids. Be proud of your kids. All of your kids. Be proud of them. All of them. I'm out of here, guys. But take my little advice. Real men do not hide their kids. Real men do not hide their kids. But for that individual that's now coming out of the closet to show that he has kids, something happened. Something happened. Somebody wants to show this a little more. I don't know why y'all want to see my little baby picture. Look, that's me. Sweet Mark, right? Something happened. That's why he came out. That's why he came out of the closet. He's up to something. Maybe he knows that God might be calling him. Oh, what a friend we have in Jesus. I'm out of here, guys. I'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time. I'm out of here. God bless you. God bless all of you and your beautiful children. So long.
Sit there and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Sujurong?
Sue? Oh, Sue? My relationship?
I can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout, and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fair with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment, and you're talking about Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them, they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Baratans too, cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. I done fed up on the dirty water, low pressure, want scream and tell somebody. salary. I done fed up on the unemployment rate. Say somebody lie, they say one Guyana. Cause when you look with the oil money going, circulate with one set of banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Sujurong?
Su? Oh, Su.
How old are you? I'm 28, sir. And where do you live? In Kitty. You own your own home? Not as yet. Apply for a house lot? Not yet. Well, sit down. You're not participating on the enhancement of your own life. At 28 years...
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata from City, Vietnam. And since 1965, I become a voter. And I always place my ex next to the cup. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.